gonna talk that talk, then you better walk that walk. If you're gonna talk that talk, then you better walk that walk. Lot of wannabes, only one of me. They try to put me under pressure, put me under siege. Yeah, I'm a champ, I'm a legend, I'm a beast. Used to be the underdog, I got off the leash. I'm done barking, I only bite. Drop the roof for the night like it's only right. Hold it tight, both hands on the holy grail. Come and get it when you fail, you can hold the hell. Run it. Yeah, I'm ready, let's run it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the All-Star Event 2020. I'm Atlas, and I am joined by the wonderful Val Danilist here for a full day of ridiculousness and fun. All-Stars is one of my favorite events because you get to, relax, get to experience all of the new items, the new patches. I know both of us are going to be very confused about what's going to be going on here today because our solo queue experience does not represent what these players have been doing.
Yeah, and it's All-Stars, so, I hope we get some fun, right? There's some money that could potentially go into charity and all that fun stuff, but I also want to see, the fun picks, the weird item builds and stuff like that. So I hope that the players have a little bit of fun with this event, and as you mentioned, maybe it will be as crazy as solo queue is right now. The preseason is always really fun because it's always just everybody's figuring out the new stuff, the new items, the new builds, the new champions that are OP. And I think we're going to get to see a bit of that fun here today.
Yep. Also, new outfits as well. We've got Sailor Valdez over here and gigantic Bear Atlas. I'm not entirely sure what this particular jumper is doing, but we do have to address the elephant in the room. And look, sometimes these things happen. I'm excited. I'm actually extraordinarily warm in this jacket, and it's freezing in Korea at the moment. We had our first snowfall on the ground today. It was very exciting. As an Australian, I lose my mind when it comes to snow, so I hope you guys have also had a wonderful beginning of the Christmas season. We are getting very, very close. But let's get back to these games because we are going to be starting with the LCK squad. And if you guys didn't know, it is going to be a couple of members of T1, a couple of members of Dam1, and a lonely alpaca on our LCK squad. Similar news for PCS, which is going to be their first opponent. It's basically PSG Talon and AHQ. But we do get to go through the event with you guys. We can take you through exactly what's going to be happening. There are a lot of different things that are going to be happening here for All-Stars. So a bit of an overview, a festival of LoL Esports' most beloved personalities, which will be packed with tournament competitions, charity events, and entertaining formats.
Yeah, and you can see here, day one is titled Underdog Uprising. It's mostly because it's the LCK up against a couple of the quote-unquote underdog regions, the non-major regions, and the same thing for the LPL as well. So we'll get 4 games of Summoner's Rift. But we also have some fun Red Bull 1v1 tournament action sprinkled in along the day. And tomorrow is going to be the Superstars Showdown, where we get to all the finals, all the, the in-depth final action, and also some Nexus splits, which is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, some
fun
game modes.
Just one.
I haven't played a lot of Nexus splits myself, so that is going to be very, very fun going into exactly all of the shenanigans that will be unfolding tomorrow, but that is tomorrow. Today it's all about, serious Summoner's Rift and 1v1 action. It's really interesting. Last time I commentated 1v1s, it was with your ex-co-host Crumbs.
Whoa!
We were down in Brazil together, so there's a little bit of a tie in there. Of course, you guys at home probably know who Crumbs is from over in the NA region. But this is the rundown. There is a lot of stuff that's going to be happening today, Valdez. We're going to have to get very, very comfortable in our chairs, I think.
Yeah, it's a long day. As you guys saw, it's kind of like a 7-hour schedule. So, as I mentioned before, two Summoners Rifts each for the LCK and the LPL playing up against the underdog regions. And then some 1v1 action sprinkled in there for the LCK and the LPL. So, It's going to be pretty fun, you know, pretty straightforward, but definitely a lot of League of Legends action. We're going to get to see a lot of the, you know, the new OP champions, the new items and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a fun time and also a bit of a learning experience, you know, see what the pros are thinking about all the changes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to be delving mostly into the pro players. Tomorrow's where we get to see some of our veterans. You know, a lot of you are probably looking forward to seeing a lot of the old LCK stars as well as the old LPL stars. And these are those all-star rosters that we are talking about. Canna Canyon, FLICKR, Deft, and Beryl will be your LCK squad. Deft and Beryl bottom lane is something that I'm very excited to look at.
That's pretty cool.
I guess we'll have a look at PCS second. Hanabi, Kongyue, Uniboy, Unified, and Kaiwing. As we mentioned before, it's just a mixture between PSG Talon and AHQ. And, you know, these are two squads that you saw representation from the World Championship this year, whether it was on one team or the other.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that there were those slight visa issues and things like that. So a little bit more of an insight into how that one went down. We will be checking out the OPL as well with Chippies, Babip, Tally, Raze, and Cupcake. I'm personally very excited to see Cupcake again. I haven't commentated Cupcake for, I don't know, 4 years or something like that. I remember when he debuted in the OPL a very long time ago. So that is definitely going to be very, very interesting. Of course, Chippies, Babip, Tally, and Raze, all of them extraordinarily talented players now moving further forward with the opening up of the Oceanic region. Now a lot of these players are picking up contracts with, you know, a whole lot of teams in North America because they're allowed to. So definitely really, really cool stuff. I believe it was Babip that was the most recent one to sign with a team. So interested to see whether, you know, already some of that training has been put in place and they can try and get themselves a victory up against the LCK in our second Summoner's Rift match. Our first one will, of course, be LCK taking on the PCS.
Yeah, and I think we got to take a look at some charity options here for this All-Star tournament. Obviously, always got to include that.
Exactly right. The Underdog Uprising, this is where you guys are going to be rooting for the underdogs, which is going to be the PCS and the OPL up against the LCK. Because if you do that, then more money gets donated to charity, which is exactly what we want. And look, there's just going to be a lot of money being thrown towards charity throughout this event. You guys can do it yourselves as well, which is very, very cool. Elderwood On is a cool skin as well. So make sure you go out, you grab that Elderwood On, and you confuse everyone by turning their new items into newer items.
wait, what does this thing do? Did anything else change that I don't know about?
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh,
I think,
man.
We're going to give you a free pass for not knowing the names of the new Ornn upgrades because we barely know all of the names of all of the new items.
Right here. I'm ready to go just in case we got Ornn in the game.
That's a little bit of a peek behind the curtain there. Trying to figure things out. This is exactly what we were talking about. The charity fundraiser skin, Elderwood On, and you've got until January 11th to purchase
that one. It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, go out there. It's a pretty cool skin. And as you mentioned, confuse your teammates in solo queue by playing Ornn with the skin. And all proceeds will go to the Riot Games Social Impact Fund with Impact Assets. So that is also nice.
Yeah, I'm sort of terrified for people to pick on. We're going to have to come up with some interesting names for some of these items because as LCK commentators, we have had a habit of inventing new ones. So I'm very interested in what we're going to come up with a whole bevy of new options for Ornn to upgrade. And also, I just feel like the upgrades now are just bonkers. So very excited to see what's going to happen there. And don't know whether our players will be picking up the Elderwood On because maybe we'll be seeing a lot more craziness.
Yeah, I just want to see weird picks, you know? Just go out there and play like you're playing solo queue, but just try to flex on weird stuff, right? As we mentioned, right, it's kind of the Underdog Uprising, so we're kind of rooting for the Underdog regions to win, and we'll see if that happens here today, actually.
Yeah, exactly right. We are going to be starting off, getting into our first Summoner's Rift match between the LCK and the PCS. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether there will be a few interesting, you know, champion choices, things like that. Let's have a look at it now.
that talk, then you better walk that walk. If you're gonna talk that talk, then you better walk that walk. Lot of wannabes, only one of me. They try to put me under pressure, put me under siege. Yeah, I'm a champ, I'm a legend, I'm a beast. Used to be the underdog, I got off the leash. I'm done barking, I only bite. Drop the roof for the night like it's only right. Hold it tight, both hands on the holy grail. Come and get it when you fail, you can hold the hell. Run it. Yeah, I'm ready, let's run it.
And here we are, ready for our first Summoner's Rift match. Of course, LCK will be taking the stage first. They will be our big dogs. Underdog to debut at the beginning of the day will be the PCS, as we were talking about before. Which is going to be a combination of PSG Talon and AHQ. Kongwei and Uniboy, two players you actually saw melded into that world's representative from the PCS anyway. So it's like we've already seen a bit of this already.
There shouldn't be names that you're unfamiliar with. I think everybody's at least heard of these players from the PCS, especially if you were watching Worlds, as you mentioned. And, of course, they're going to be going up against some titans of the LCK, right? Some of these picks obviously just performed unbelievably well in their region. I'm really looking forward to Beryl playing. I don't know why I've just gotten on this Beryl hype train recently, but as you can see, the players playing from home. Of course, with the current situation of Corona in South Korea at the moment, we're just trying to keep the amount of people in the studio to the bare minimum.
Absolutely. As you can see, Deft on your screen right there, donning his new Hanwha Life attire.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. As you can see, Beryl is going to be his partner in crime this time around. But yeah, like you were talking about, all the players are going to be playing online. And we are, of course, here at LoL Park, but none of the players are, just for their safety. This is the PCS roster that we were talking about. Hanabi, very famous, up towards the top side of the map. Kongwei, as you remember from Worlds. Uniboy there in the mid lane also, and Unified and Kaiwing on the bottom side of the map. A lot of names that you will recognize from a lot of international events. I actually feel like the PCS really is a region to be feared. So with the fact that a lot of these players have a lot of experience playing with one another, this is definitely going to be I don't think it's going to be a rollover. I don't think it's just going to be the LCK saying,
I hope
you can
not.
just do stuff and we'll be fine.
I also don't hope that FLICKR comes in and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna play Orianna. I don't want that to happen either. I kind of want them to kind of go off the rails, let's go with some weird picks. Let's have a bit of fun.
And actually,
you
if you remember some of the exhibition matches that have been played by the LCK, in the past, we haven't been scared to do some weird things like picking full team skin combinations and things like that, as you may remember from a few years back. Still, haunts my memories as we got trashed by the LPL, I believe, in that particular tournament. We got used to being trashed by the LPL until of course, this year, when we finally reigned supreme.
Yeah. For now, we hold the title. But who is going to hold the All-Star 2020 title?
That is a very good question, Valdez. I'm glad that you asked it, because here we are in to pick and ban for our very first game of the day. PCS will be taking our blue side, LCK on the red, and now we get to see how the competitive meta has shaken up since so many patches. And it's been a lot of cramming recently, Valdez, because we were on the Worlds patch for a really long time and we didn't really get to look at a lot of different things. We've got 4 champions that have been released since that Worlds patch. And so a lot of things certainly will have changed. Pantheon, though, still going to get banned away from Beryl and Canyon and FLICKR. Pantheon just, pretty decent pick at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty good right now. So kind of a good ban to go with to start. And then, of course, Garen is going to be banned here because, that's what you got to do. Seems like the PCS is kind of just going with standard bans here. Some very top-tier picks right now, especially in solo queue.
Yep, I was expecting this Samira to be looked at. She is very, very strong, especially in the right hand, so he's going to be taken off the board. Graves, just still really strong, benefited a lot from the new items also. And Ophelio is going to be taken off the board here by the LCK. Good old Garen, Echo, and Ophelio. So the Garen one is a perplexing one, although Hanabi does like it. Has been a bit of a Garen guy in the past.
Yeah.
As we're looking at an AD carry choice, and it will be the Misfortune. I wonder whether we're going to have any weird dashing around the map and throwing out bajillions of ultimates and things like that. I think that might have, I hope that one's been fixed, but I remember seeing that one dominating everywhere.
Yeah.
I personally couldn't do it. I've got, you know, the dad hands. I'm not
dad
a dad.
hands?
I'm a cat dad.
Have we got
not
there
a real
already?
dad, but I do have the dad hands already, so I couldn't test it myself. As Deft thinking about his world famous Kalista, and is going to lock that one away.
Yeah, the Kalista going to be picked up here. And, you know, nothing too out of the ordinary here so far. Just kind of going pretty standard. The Elise would be interesting. Ivern recently got some buffs.
Mega buffs.
I actually texted you about that. I'm like, wow, he got a pretty nice buff. I would love to see Ivern here, actually, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we went with a spider instead of the tree. It's a little bit unfortunate. That's fine. Poppy being looked at. Gigantic win rate at the moment, actually. In solo queue is the Poppy. That one is going to be locked in. We'll have to see exactly where she's going to go. Poppy has historically been quite flexible, and with the Renekton being picked up, it is going to raise the eyebrows ever further. Although Uniboy, I guess, could play this. Let's be honest, it's Renekton. He can go basically wherever he wants. But Malphite, this is something that we're expecting.
Yeah.
When it comes to where the meta's sitting, it's pretty similar, but tanks seem to be very, very strong. Despite the amount of Sunfire Aegis nerfs, it's just not quite enough.
Yeah, you know, maybe 3 or 4 patches later we'll get there, but I understand Riot, you know, early on here in the preseason. They don't want to totally get rid of some of the new items and ideas that they brought in, so they're taking it a little bit slow.
Oh, is this fake as Yone?
With a smirk too, I love it.
Damn, son.
He knows. He made all the fans scream at home when he picked that one.
There's definitely a bit of a collective excitement, as Karth is going to be taken away here by the LCK for some reason. I believe he was recently buffed back up to a decent position, but Karthus wasn't performing very well at the beginning of the preseason.
Yeah, I believe there was a bug where you could collect him, and his passive wouldn't go off after he died or something like that. And yeah, I think they fixed that since then, and his Q has gotten buffed a bit. So
yeah, I would say suboptimal. Yeah, would be collected. Silas taken off the board here as well, likely aimed at Canna, especially when you've got an unstoppable force.
No.
Are we going 2 exiles?
The brothers.
Oh, it's happening. Oh my god. Does that mean that our T1 boys are going to be playing the brothers on the Rift?
I think so.
Oh,
it's
man.
got to be the way it goes, right?
Our solo lane synergy for T1 must have been in a severe development phase over Worlds, because this is definitely very exciting to look at. PCS, though, they get to round out their roster. Is Akali going to be their lock-in? Uniboy likely to be picking that one up. Still very strong is the old Akali. Especially with, what is it, Riftmaker? That item pretty dumb on the old Conqueror Akali that a lot of people do play in the mid lane. See whether FLICKR is going to be enough to thwart Uniboy on this one. Assuming that is how it's going to go.
And Shen is going to be picked up here. Okay. Barrel's like
trying to figure out which one's going in support. You know, he's like, is it Malphite support for some reason? You know, for that Wombo combo on the bottom lane. But it'll probably be Poppy or Shen.
What is... Okay, so...
I mean, Barrel's having a big giggle right now, so...
Is he playing, like, support Yasuo or something?
Oh, to be support Galio. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I actually really like this lane with the Callista. And look, not everyone control. And they needed a bit more magic damage.
Haven't you played solo queue before? Like, yes, everybody control. It's certainly, certainly
this is actually,
possible.
To be perfectly honest, this isn't a terrible comp. And they do have flexibility. This Callista could just be chilling in the top lane. Deft likely to be playing it, but it looks like they're not swapping yet. They got another 10 seconds. The Alpaca looks a little bit like he's being caught in the headlights. Just trying to figure out what his support's doing, yeah.
Barrel can't stop laughing. So I think we're locked in here. Wow, okay. All right, yeah. Just, you know, normal stuff.
And it is, it's the Jungle Poppy, and it is going to be the Callista in the top lane. We'll see how Hanabi's going to be able to deal with it. I don't know whether you can roll enough wheels at that Callista to get you through the earlier stages of the laning phase, because Callista, we know, in the top lane, very, very dangerous early on, especially when you pair it with the ganking prowess of Elise, not to mention Canyon's Elise. So looking very similar to what we experienced during the Worlds meta on the side of the PCS. The LCK bringing out the Yone, which is fun. We've got some bot lane Yasuo.
Yep. That's what we wanted. We wanted some fun. I feel like the PCS came out here to win. Right, they're here, and they've got a nice little comp. I actually do like their comp here, in general. Although it is kind of straightforward, I would say.
I like straightforward pylon comps though, when you don't necessarily have all of that synergy built up. In tournaments like this, you got to try and keep it simple, stupid. You know, like that's it's a decent game plan. And when it's press R buttons all at the same time style of composition, that is definitely a way to make it work. Hanabi on this Malphite is going to be the definition of just press R. As I think that we should probably just talk about FLICKR playing Yone this entire game.
Yeah, you know, I think that's what the fans want, right? We just sit here and we're like, hey, by the way, he's got a couple of cool swords, and it's FLICKR, and he's going to be playing it.
Yeah.
And anything else? Anything else we got to say about this? He's playing up against Uniboy on the Akali. This is definitely a matchup you'll see in solo queue, and apparently in All-Star 2020. So that's it's pretty cool to see. I'm interested to see how Kana's going to do on the Callista up in the top lane, up against the, of course, the melee champion that is Malphite.
Yep. Reppin' Bang's skin as well from back in the day. Need to give a big warm welcome back to Bang. He's now back in the LCK after spending a bit of time over in North America. This FLICKR stacking up that Q just a little. We'll be heading into this laning phase up against the Akali Uniboy with that Conqueror like we were expecting. Bit of fleet footwork for FLICKR though. Just trying to make sure that he's as safe as possible, as Canna is going to start the onslaught already. Yep, it's pretty balanced, isn't it? Good old top Callista. Some things never change, am I right?
Yeah, he's, that's basically how that lane is going to be going. Up in the top side, the Malphite, he takes the arcane, the Comet here, and he's going to look to poke her down, but can't do nearly as much poke as the Ballista will have total control.
Yep,
over
not enough wagon
lane.
wheels, man. You just need as many wagon wheels as possible.
Yeah.
Just doesn't have enough yet.
And also curious about the jungle matchup. The Poppy, of course, there are a lot of guys that are going to be dashing around, hopping around, being really annoying. The Poppy can handle that pretty well. But Canyon on this very aggressive kind of a ganking style jungle, which is pretty good nowadays. I would say that I think a lot of the onus is going to be on him to be looking for some cool ganks here in the early game.
Yep, Steph's presence is going to get a lot of value this game, however. It's only Elise that's really going to be able to avoid what Poppy can do, because the Dashi brothers definitely like to bounce around a lot in Yone and Yasuo, of course. But, you know, Canna gets absolutely destroyed by Poppy on this Callista. Canyon, he's coming in. Kongyue a little bit further behind as Hanabi's going to have to try and dodge this cocoon. The flash does come out. There's the repel to get Canyon out of there. The flash forward, the bonk into the wall, and Canna's down for first blood. Kongyue continuing that world's form that we saw.
Oh, we got a fight down on the bottom side, too.
Oh, flash forward! Deft picks up the kill. He's got all his flow back as well. There's the Flash Justice Punch. Beryl showing he still has all of those mechanics. A double kill for Deft. I ship it. I love this bottom lane already.
This is exactly what we wanted to see from those two guys, just dominating the bottom lane.
In the meantime, Uniboy escapes.
Yeah, he'll be fine on the Akali. Also in the top lane, Canyon, a fantastic bait, baiting Kana into his death. Great job as the rival from the enemy team, at least in the LCK.
Yep, there we go.
Beryl's still smiling, having a blast. And
Canyon just looking stoic while he baits the rest of his team. As yeah, like you were talking about, is the Axe replay.
Yeah, I guess they didn't exactly know that Kongyo was so close, and he was able to just follow up really quickly. As yes, the Kalista did have flash and probably could have been able to flash out of that one, but was not quick enough. And let's take a look at this bottom lane and how this trade went down. Looks like it was a good taunt to start off. Double taunt from Beryl, though, who single-handedly carries the entire exchange.
Yeah, right.
And then Def says, wait, no, I can't be left out of the spotlight. Let me just get a quick kill.
Yep.
And then Beryl says, wait, no, now it's my turn. I'm actually the superstar in the bot lane. Both of these superstars can't let each other down, and they can't let their fans down. They want to be the one guy that's carrying the bottom lane, but they're doing it together.
Exactly. Kind of looking for Hanabi one more time. You did mention the fact that he didn't flash, and that means that here in the lane, Hanabi is going to continue to struggle. Does have a couple of cloth armors as Canyon comes on in. I don't know whether that ward spotted him out, but Hanabi's still playing very reserved as this wave is going to crash. And that is a lot of CS denied. Oh dear.
And I don't think that ward saw him, but it was like right up there in the top corner, so I think there's a very small possibility. I wish Jonas Strong would have given us that look.
There's the knock-up. Deft only level 4, of course. Unified's going to flash out of the way, make it rain come through to try and get some slows as Kaiwing down to 200. And the LCK continue to obliterate this lane. Not necessarily in CS, but a double kill on a Yasuo is definitely bad news. There's Kongyo, though, continuing his onslaught as no more dishy-dashy for you. Good old Kana, and that's another buckler to the face. Kongyo 2-0 himself.
Yeah, and Kana didn't even bother to flash. No reason there. He knew he was dead. He was just, you know, he's sitting at 40 CS to 17, so he's like, let's just be even more annoying. And they did punish him for it. That was actually a really nicely timed gank by Kongyo, knowing that Canyon was, there was a really low chance he was going to be up on the top lane at that point in time, and the lane was in such a position that they could punish Kana for being just a little bit too greedy. They did exactly that, but if there is any lane that I think there will be a bit of a gap in, should be this bottom lane, especially after that double kill down the bottom side going over to Yasuo.
Yeah. We all know from solo queue that the snowball potential of a Yasuo is frustrating, to say the least. As another wave's going to be stacked up. Last minion stabbed there by Deft. We'll see whether they continue the pressure or look for a back timing. Kaiwing going to get knocked up. If this was a much earlier patch, good old Akali and Shen would lose 1 HP. Double ninja. Definitely not what you want.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah. And this lane seems to still be looking pretty good for Kana, even after he died twice. Not really feeling too many of the effects of the gank so far. As FLICKR, once again, saying this is my red buff.
And he collects it. Heads back to his either all too easily. Is Uniboy not going to get stabbed right there? Kongyo coming on forward. That's a lot of damage from the first side of the ultimate out of Uniboy. Doesn't quite get the finish, however. Canyon goes up into the sky. FLICKR trying to escape. Fleet footwork helping out, but Kongyo grabs himself his third kill. Taunt only onto the Akali, but it should be enough to net them the kill. Is now Deft trying to run for safety. A fight on a couple of fronts for Yasuo. Not going to be as lucky as his brother as FLICKR. Dashes out of the way of that one. Good knock up there onto Kongyo. As Beryl now finds himself in front of 3 members of the PCS. And yeah, bonked into the wall with a heroic charge. And Kongyo is on 4-0 on this poppy.
Yeah, what an interesting fight down in there at bottom side. That actually all started because FLICKR desperately needed to get that red buff. And he got it, and he actually lived with it, but the rest of his team was not so lucky. Hanabi has to ult away, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, just I think a little bit of an underestimation of where the PCS's comp is at right now, and FLICKR going a little bit too far. Kind of baited his team into an unfortunate position.
But FLICKR didn't die, so it can't be his fault.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's never FLICKR's fault,
Yeah,
is
you're not allowed
No.
to say that. It's absolutely illegal.
It's a banned phrase here on the...
Yeah. The other thing that's illegal is just how far ahead in CS Canna is. Things aren't going so well. There's the flash taunt. That's going to land very comfortably. Great knock up there from Deft as well. Uniboy's going to be dead. The brothers do both participate in that kill. I thought that maybe FLICKR hadn't got any damage down yet, but good gank by the bottom lane, and the LCK will be able to knock down possibly a turret plate. No Kaiwing. Scary enough on this Shen.
Yeah, I like that the brothers come together, and of course Beryl is the one that gets it all going with a great flash taunt, knowing that Uniboy did not have his flash, only had the shuriken. So will it be Konga going for this again? Looks like no. He's 4-0, so he's feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, he's a real scary boy. On this Poppy?
Now there's a certain item called Sunfire Aegis.
Yes.
It's one of
oh
those
no,
items.
it just got finished then, didn't? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. It's one of the really good ones here.
You want to know something
recently.
that's not so good? It's Hanabi. Does have flash, but doesn't have ult. And Canna going to pick up his first kill to augment all of that farm that he's put together. Unified now in potential trouble as Deft charges up the knockup. Doesn't go in for the ultimate. Understands that a turret is still pretty scary. Canyon's just having a good time.
Yeah.
The double T1 skins here as there's the repel. Knockup gonna land forward, and that's the 5th kill for Kongyue.
Oh.
And the flash over the cocoon. Is this number 6? Nope.
Oh.
Doesn't have 2 flashes, unfortunately for him. As FLICKR snaps back, wins another trade here in the mid lane.
Maybe next preseason they can add an item that gives you 2 flashes. Not this one.
Yeah, Dash Cannon did get changed, but it didn't get buffed quite that much, unfortunately.
But that was pretty cool. You got to see the Poppy Shen coordination. You don't see that every day. And yeah, this Poppy that's so fed right now with the Sunfire Aegis already.
Oh, there's the backflip. Uniboy comes on forward. The ulti out from FLICKR. Kongyue happy to tank for a really long time, but I think 1 versus 3 is probably not going to be enough. That was so close, actually. The devastating blow. Oh my god. He's a real scary Poppy. And Uniboy's dead. Deft, it's the flash stab. There's now Hanabi potentially in trouble as well. Beryl trying to catch up to him. No tornadoes today, however. Now Unified versus Canna up here. Kaiwing looking for a taunt. There's the flash. Bullet time, max range, but Canna finally finds his flash key. Takes a very long time, but he's able to trade. Unified almost gets taken down by a very, very angry turret. As now the LCK should be able to get a little bit more work done to this bottom outer turret.
Yeah, we'll get another plate here as Hanabi's gonna go in for it, actually. Great taunt here from Beryl.
Unstoppable force coming on forward. Not a lot of damage being taken here by the PCS. They're 2 very tanky boys there as Deft throws out the ulti. That was a very weird situation there. Don't know whether that was a visual bug or whatever, but Deft lifting him up from a million miles away. Taunt gonna land onto Kongyue. I thought that almost got both of them after the heroic charge. Didn't actually happen as Beryl manages to grab that first kill. It's a 1-for-1 in the end, though. As now Uniboy jumping on over, looking to try and take down the Gargoyle first. Canyon in no man's land, looking to try and attempt to get out. Beryl comes through with the Winds of War, but it's not going to quite be enough. And that is some good cleanup here by the PCS.
Yeah, the LCK having some fun. They're going on to the 5-1 Poppy with Sunfire already, and they're like, yeah, let's just dive him with his teammate.
Yeah.
You know, didn't turn out amazingly, but it wasn't terrible at the same time. We're gonna take another look at how this happens here with the dive on the FLICKR first, where he actually found the Poppy in the backside with the ultimate, and then Konga was left all alone. Canna came in from behind, and Uniboy's like, I'm out. I'm not dealing with this.
Yep. All too easy here on the bottom side of the map. This was what we'd like to call an LCK overextension.
Yeah. Again, like, Deft ults Konga, and Konga just throws up the...
I think
throws up the emote. He's like, what are you doing?
Deft took more damage, actually.
Yeah. No,
just from the Sunfire kick.
Look at this. It's going to explode there at the end. The amount of damage that's output as he's tanking everything up is just insane. And then Uniboy finally has his moment to come in and get at least the one kill after all of that action.
Yep, Hanabi, though, I think was able to actually clear out all of those minions. Turret plates, very close to falling down, but a little sneaky one to come through here from FLICKR and Canna. There's now Beryl down towards the bottom side, looking to try and protect Deft just a little bit. Kongwei, oh, he finds the wall, the extra one built by the Mountain Drake is now Canna getting slaughtered by Unified. That's why you don't face check as an 80 carry, especially not on this patch, ladies and gentlemen. We're not feeling so great in that particular area. Flash over there from Hanabi, who looks to get out. Ulti now on cooldown.
It's so funny.
There's the flash forward, the Justice Punch. Does he have enough? The Colossal Smash doesn't quite get there, and Uniboy tidies up Dev. And it's going to be Beryl falling down as well. A little bit too much to be fun to be had here by the LCK.
I mean, it's just so funny to watch Dev trying to kill these tanks on this patch. It's just so funny. He basically does no damage as Malphite just laughs at him. And Canyon here looks like he should be able to pick up this kill with double buff.
Yep, Unified in a whole host of trouble. That's going to be a cheeky Q. Very easy pickup there from a scary Spider, who's very, very close to his Mythic. It's going to be a big power spike here for the Elise. As, yeah, this is what we like to call a face check. Yeah, bad news bears.
Yeah.
Dragon buff.
Bit of a mistake, and then FLICKR, who is up 3 levels, cannot deal with the 2 tanks, of course. And then, Uniboy comes in and steals the kill, as you do.
Yep, also just poppy things, stopping FLICKR from being able to do anything that he wants with all of that mobility. You don't have mobility when Steadfast Presence is a thing. As now, Kaiwing just looking to try and get some vision around this Rift Herald, which might be where the PCS is going to put their attention. As Deft has found Hanabi, and yeah, he's got a Sunfire Aegis, my friend. You're going to have to build a lot more armor penetration than that. Deft is like, oh no!
Well,
is this a sign of things to come? Oh god!
I guess he'll get there eventually, but just the shield bow for now, looks like, and it's not really going to be doing much penetration at this moment in time. As we've got double Sunfire finished here, the 2 tanks up in the top.
Yeah.
And a Bramble Vest on top of all of that for the Malphite. He's even got a Dark Seal with 7 stacks after all of this.
Malphite and Poppy both with Bramble Vests. This is, yeah. This is going to have to be Canyon. This is Canyon doing everything this game. Does have himself a couple of daggers, which is very exciting. As, let's see whether he finds it. Cocoon is going to land there. Volatile spidling for some extra damage. Canna desperately trying to catch up as the repel comes forward, but the slows are too strong. Hanabi is going to be able to make it out alive. Ooh, Shuriken back very close there by Uniboy, but not going to be able to find too much joy.
That was a close little cocoon there. Didn't end up landing. As the LCK, even after all the fun they've had, they're still getting in the faces of the PCS. Not letting them have their own jungle. I think the red was even stolen and the golems here at the same time. And it'll be interesting to see if Canna eventually can do enough damage to all of these tanks in the front line that are being built up here on the side of the PCS.
Yeah, Cocoon is going to land here, as you can see. Ulti going to be utilized there by Canna, gets Canyon out of there, fantastic. Kongwei comes forward though, finds the ulti. And that's an easy pickup there from Kaiwing. It's not over just yet though as the bullet time comes forward, but straight into a wind wall. Expertly done there by Deft, as Kongwei still dancing forward. Not taking too much damage there, but the knock up from Deft might be able to keep him alive for a little bit longer. You can see Beryl wants to get the big taunt, lands onto a couple, but his life will be sacrificed for the good of his AD carry. And in the meantime, Uniboy fighting once again against Canyon, this time He is going to be able to get the better of him. And of course, it was unified last time. Uniboy in a better position to take down the Spider. It's the uni. That's the problem. Both of these college boys. It's confusing me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's so funny to watch the Yasuo just get run down from the enemy red buff all the way to his second mid turret, all the while doing 0 damage. I mean, he's just not really able to do anything against this comp right now. And
oh my god.
PCS are just kind of running at them, and they can because they just don't take damage.
And now, a possible 4-stack Mountain Drake plus 3 tanks.
Oh, man. Go next.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. The clock is ticking, LCK.
Canyon's like, I'm out of here. See you later, buddy. You know, good luck. There's no way they were going to save Cannon there.
Okay, FLICKR and Uniboy swapping positions just a little bit. Gets a bit of a Teemo thumbs up there, as FLICKR does have to snap back to that E eventually. And Def now looking to try and tidy. He's got a minion wave. Might be at a close distance. There's the flash forward. Stopwatch from Uniboy as Def does pick up the kill and dies for it. But extra assist, 100% worth, yep.
Very good job. It's what you got to do in the All-Star game, right? You know, you got picked as an All-Star for your region. You're here to make YouTube highlights, right? You're here to make outplays, to make solo queue plays. That's what I would want to do. Let's take a look at Hanabi taking 50% of his health in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, Canyon actually pretty dangerous here as bullet time comes forward. Very, very dead. As Unified real strong right now. Hanabi, though, is going to be taken down in response. Unified, can he actually get into position here as FLICKR dashes his way out? Great knockups by Kongyue. But he's ran out of CC now. Canna trying to dance this one out. There's the knockup with the Justice Punch. Beryl, no regard for his own life whatsoever. And Canna is going to follow him to the death chamber. 3 dead on LCK's side in trade for 1 rock.
Yeah, you're not really able to do much there. Deft is like, see his face there on the camera?
Yeah.
I'm just going to take this red because I guess our AD carry can't do much with it. And yeah, just slow and steady here from the PCS. They find enemy champion, they run at enemy champion, and eventually take him out. Even with Hanabi getting caught in the river, he's just so tanky now, especially even with just the 1 Mountain Drake. It's like, okay, Elise, cool story, bro. You're not going to be able to do much against me. And I think we're going to see that here where it's like, okay, we all know Elise is kind of like a burst champion, right? But not against this Malphite. Immediately just gets ripped to shreds by the Misfortune, who easily flashes out of there. You're thinking, hey, okay, 1-for-1 trade, not so bad. Here comes Kongyue. Remember Poppy?
Yeah, exactly.
Remember all of his kills and his items? Look at how much damage he's doing to Canna just standing next to him.
Just wanders casually at them, actually.
Pretty funny. And then he like one-shots the Galio, just like, oh yeah, by the way, still at half health. Feeling pretty good about their position right now with their super fed tanks and the good Drakes that are coming afterwards as well.
Yep. Deft still just sitting on a couple of items here. You mentioned the shield bow has augmented that with his Bloodthirster, but probably wanting a little bit more than just that. Slightly defensive options here. See Beryl and Kongyue fighting. I think I know who I'd put my money on. And that is why the Gargoyle is going to run away. Cannon down here, just running through the enemy jungle. Has been spotted out there by the Scryer's Bloom. There's Kaiwing looking for him.
Yeah. And even
Teleport.
After, okay.
Oh, that's intro. Goodbye.
Well.
Oh, but it was all a bait, Valdez.
Oh, and it was their Kalista. They're like, they would never do Baron without their Kalista. They thought wrong.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Well, in goes Uniboy, looking for it. Are they actually able to get there? And Kongyue's in here. Oh no, Canyon not going to get stunned. Kongyue not going to be there as well as Beryl. Not going to get any knockups. Hanabi just finishes him off with the unstoppable force. Kaiwing in a bunch of trouble. The bullet time comes out, but it's not quite enough. The PCS did pick up the Baron. This is a bit of a disaster here for the LCK as Yasuo is going to be taken down. Yone grabs a kill. But FLICKR's in no position to help Canyon. Canyon does grab Hanabi on the back end, so only 3 Barons remain. But the PCS will still be able to take this turret very comfortably and might even be able to grab another one, but no. Instead, just looking for a reset.
Yeah, the second I saw the Poppy just, you know, wandering up to the Baron, I thought he was farther away. So I'm like, oh man, it looks like LCK might actually get the Baron. Nope. Poppy comes in, says goodbye to the Elise. Take a look at this.
Yep.
The helicopter comes in, Popcopter. Nice dodge by Canyon, but still he pops 2 of them out, and then Canyon's like, well, I'm not going to survive anyway. So has to get out of there, and it's a total disaster for the LCK as once again, Poppy is the MVP of the fight.
Oh no. As you can see, picture in picture, Uniboy.
Oh, 2 and 9.
Yep. Oof. Picking up yet another kill.
Yeah.
And as far as the Red Bull Baron power play is concerned, we're already sitting at 2,000.
The zoom in.
Oh dear. Okay, well, let's see whether the LCK can pick this one up. Because even these Mountain Drakes, man, like, you gotta stop that 4-stack from potentially happening because there are too many tanks on the side of the PCS.
Yeah. I mean, even though one was too hard for them to handle, how about, you know, 2, maybe 3 eventually along in this game? It's not going to be feeling too good for them. But you can see that the LCK, they're not really backing down, right? They're still trying to make plays. They're still trying to attack the map where the Baron is not. Unfortunately, they realize, well, if we don't back now, then we were probably just going to lose all of our turrets and all that good stuff. So they're going to back here. PCS not being too aggressive with the Baron after all of that. And it's their fed tanks, but also their couple of carries have gotten pretty fed as well. I mean, the Akali finishing that Zonya's, also adding some grievous wounds. I mean, it's going to feel pretty good for them. And Cat is going to die again.
Yep, the knock-up not even going to land there, but he does manage to flash his way out. Justice Punch from Beryl gets him back to safety as well. So in goes Uniboy. Great knock-up. It's going to immediately alleviate the rift of Death. Beryl now just trying to get himself into a decent position, but he cannot. Great knock-up onto Canna. Bullet time to completely eviscerate him. And FLICKR, nothing he can really do. Canyon, not even sure where he was. He's going to poke his head out now, but not going to be able to find too much.
He's like,
the base is broken.
I'm Elise. I'm actually invisible in this game now. He picked up the Duskblade of Drakthar, but he's just invisible anyway. Yeah, he's not really having much use in this one. After all of this, FLICKR's trying to go in though, gets the kill.
Yep, going to be able to pick up one onto Unified. That's a lot of the damage now missing from the PCS as FLICKR now getting a double knock-up. That's a big one. Doesn't find himself with too many more options, especially against Kongwei, who's just so big. I just don't know what they're supposed to do about this dang Poppy.
Yeah, Dead Man's Plate finish too is like, it's just salt in the wound. It's like, you thought you couldn't get away from me before, but now.
Look at all of the armor built by all of, like, the 2 tanks, the big tanks on the PCS's side. I guess you can include Shen, but he's building more supportively at this point in time, although he does have a Warden's Mail there as well. But there's just so much armor.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like eventually the Elise is going to fall off, so let's just worry about their 380 dealing, attack damage dealing carries on their side. And they're just going to get outscaled here. It was all fun and games in the early and mid game for the LCK, but I think their time is just about run out. Although Hanabi's up here by himself. We'll see if he even cares.
Oh god, Canyon already taking half of his health bar here as the fight is on a couple of fronts. The main initiation not going to be available. That's going to be the shutdown. Beryl in trouble, so it is a trade 1-for-1, but you'll take top lane for support if you are the LCK. Now Deft possibly in trouble. The ulti comes forward, and now Deft, nothing he can really do. Too much CC, and that is going to be unified with the last bullet to the back of the head.
Yeah. No bully? Question mark. It's like
Please no bully.
Yeah. Really the only person who's worried about it is KDA in this one. Seems to be FLICKR. 3-1-4. As finally Kongwei is gonna go down.
Yep. 4, 5, and 6 now. At least Canyon can count as there's the ulti from FLICKR. A lot of damage onto Unify. Can he grab the kill? He can! As FLICKR finds himself on the other side as well. Flashes on out. Phenomenal shield, but Kaiwing puts him down in the end, but buys enough time for Canyon to grab the kill onto Uniboy. While this is all happening, the 2-10 Canna is eliminating turrets from the map, and Canyon looking to try and chase down this Shen. I don't know whether Canna's going to be able to get there, but instead, he wants to take minions. That's exactly what he wants. as the sad bee comes through. Canna just passing through. See what this Kalista is going to be able to do. I mean, that scoreline don't look great, but he's close to a Flame Horizon.
Yeah, you know, if it's ever a 1v1 and he's able to jump around and be annoying, I suppose he's still going to do Kalista things even after going 2-10. And maybe there is a world in where the LCK does win this. I'd be curious about the Mountain Drake fight that's going to be coming up here in just a bit, as we're going to take another look at this replay. Kongyo with the defensive charge, essentially, denying that taunt from Beryl, who does go down. You're thinking, oh man, this is just not looking good for the LCK, but it ends up being Canyon who finds the Poppy here and actually does a nice bit of true damage with the items he has picked up. And then FLICKR with the perfect supportive play comes in at the perfect time to pick up a kill. Does eventually go down, unfortunately, but it did look cool while it was happening, that's for sure.
Ooh, Canyon lying in wait here, the itsy bitsy spider. We'll see whether they can get some vision of this Baron pit to allow him to get in and go for a steal. It's down incredibly low, and the PCS will lock down the Baron. As now Kaiwing possibly caught out of position. Some good knockups. Depth gets over the wall, but Uniboy is going to finish him off. The bullet time, absolutely gigantic. And Canyon also going to be biting the dust. Canna wants to make that middle number an 11, and he's going to have his wish here as Uniboy will finish him off. No, it's Unified that grabs it. Got the first 3 letters, right? I guess you can give me that one. As
Again.
PCS are looking so strong right now.
Yeah, I don't really know what the LCK was doing there, hanging around. They kind of knew that they couldn't take the Baron, but they were just a little bit desperate, and they didn't want to just go away for free. But the only thing they gave away for free were their lives at the end of the day, because Shen being really annoying, Kongyo right over the wall. These 3 tanks, they're super tanky, but all 3 of them have amazing mobility at the same time, which is really cool to see. The Malphite, obviously, over the wall with the follow-up engage was really cute, and then Kana all alone, not able to do anything 1v5. Not really his fault here, because all of his teammates were already dead.
It's been 11, not even his fault, actually.
You think so?
I'll
all
agree.
11?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a Yasuo on the team, so you know,
We'll be nice.
you know where the blame's going. That's how that one works out.
Yeah. Our team Yasuo. 5 and 8. I mean, you know, things just kind of got too out of hand with the Poppy early on in the game, where he was just like, I'm trying so hard to be useful, but I can't.
Well, we're looking for a kill here as Unstoppable Force comes down. Canna almost just dies, and Hanabi is going to be able to flash himself out. Canna needs to try and lifesteal his health back up as Kongyo flashes forward, doesn't get the stun, but doesn't need it. Hanabi is going to fall down in response, so it's a 1-for-1 of top laners. Now the PCS just with all of their big burly boys, especially Kongyo here. Looks like they will be able to have an opportunity to push this one down. Canyon caught in no man's land. Poon comes down. Kaiwing takes a fair bit of damage, but it's not quite enough. Double knock up there as there's the 2-man taunt. As Death gets in there with the ulti, but he's just not big enough. Triple kill now for the Misfortune as Faker's going to be taken for the Quadra. Oh my god, Unified is so damn big as Kongyo is just having a really good time here. Oh, it doesn't look like it, as that's a very angry Annie. That's okay, it's just the fury of battle for this Poppy.
He's been spamming that all game, but man, he should be happy after this one. And I think they're just going to roll up and take the base, as Poppy, though, is backing. So I suppose they're going to let this one go a little bit longer. We got respawns coming in, but it was only Kalista. They probably could have ended the game, but they're not going to do it just yet.
Not quite. Canna was thinking about stopping backs, but he probably didn't want to. As 8,000 gold is the lead, but it's triple Mountain Drake. It's a decimated base. And it's feeling like a team composition from the PCS that's just better at this stage of the game.
Yeah. So, again, I mean, the Kalista, we both mentioned it in the early game. We're like, ooh, I don't know about the Kalista against this Poppy. That Poppy felt like the perfect pick. And we're seeing it a bit here towards the end of the game. As things got pretty messy, Canyon was all alone. Elise, she's still pretty bursty. She likes to do her auto attacks afterwards and stack up her items, but we got more fighting here, Atlas.
This is called a 2 versus 1, and Hanabi is going to come out ahead. I guess he did have a Shen giving him a bit of a shield, but you can see Hanabi's got more of a health bar than that shield provided as Dab trying to get augmented here by the heroic entrance, but I don't know how heroic it is. Death goes golden and then goes to the death chamber. Is now, oh my god, FLICKR pops in the blink of an eye. As Peril, yeah, it's a nice stopwatch, my friend, but you are just more food for the PCS meat grinder. Heading towards this top lane, trying to finish this one off. And it looks like we will have some extra money going over to charity as the underdogs already looking like the top dogs here in our first game.
Yeah, we get something good out of it. A pretty cool comp from the side of PCS and also some nice charity money going to the charity of their choice. They're not going to end it yet. Of course, this is the all-star games that we do have going on, and they are going to be diving. Down you go.
He died as he lived with absolute full aggression. As the PCS, yeah, they're watching their minions. Oh, there's the... Yes! Love it. Absolutely love it. And that will be the Nexus finally falling down, and that will be our Spotify Underdog upset here for our first game. That is how you want to start things off. More money to charity. Hell yeah, Valdez.
Yeah. We had a really fun back and forth game. It was the LCK having a bit of fun. They brought the brothers in, right? Yone and Yasuo. They built a fun composition, the Kalista up in the top lane to make it happen. They did throw a little bit, right? They were having a bit of solo QS fun where they're diving turrets and trying to kill tanks 2v1 under the turret, which usually doesn't work out. And the PCS, just straight up good League of Legends. They were playing a little bit off the cuff. You know, it wasn't super clean or anything like that, but yeah, their comp just outscaled them really hard, and I really liked the 3 tanks as well. That composition was pretty cool. The Poppy, the Shen, and the Malphite, because the Shen can hop onto either of them, or taunt in, so he's got that mobility. The Poppy has tons of speed, especially with the Dead Man's Plate, and then, of course, Malphite. We saw that one fight around the Baron just hopping over the wall, all 3 of them. It was really rough to deal with for the LCK's comp.
Yeah. And I think that there was a little bit of a Sunfire Aegis difference as well. I mean, it was 2-0 in that particular game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really, really cool stuff out of the PCS. But that is going to mean that there's going to be a bit more money going into that pot for charity. So every time one of these underdogs wins in our Underdog Spotify upset, it is just going to mean more money to charity. So if you're sad that FLICKR lost, don't be.
I think he still had a positive KDA, so you're okay, FLICKR fans. He still was the best on his team.
And he made some sick plays as well. I mean, the Yone is going to be something very exciting to watch.
Sure.
I think a lot of us have been watching him play it on his stream throughout the last few weeks and months. Because, of course, you know, T1 not making it to Worlds meant that there was a little bit more time for them to practice the new stuff and prepare themselves for what is going to be a very exciting 2021. Here in the LCK and around the world, because, you know, there's a few changes, especially when it comes to on the Rift, but off the Rift as well, considering what's been going on, especially here.
Yeah, so I think we got some highlights coming up soon.
I
want to see some of those big plays that we saw. As you mentioned, most of the big plays from the LCK were just the Yone. Some, you know, Elise in the bush plays and stuff like that, but...
Yeah, and then there was the Yasuo double kill at the beginning of the game.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Cool. I forgot about that one. That was actually... That's when I was getting hyped for Deft and Barrel, and that lane was really cool, but then kind of fell off at like 8 minutes, and didn't end up doing as much as the enemies. So, yeah.
Also, Unified just got absolutely gigantic with his big early lethality build.
His Fortune's pretty good.
Yeah, she is pretty good. Yeah. Dark Harvest as well, making sure you can stack up all of that big burst damage, and we saw that absolutely happening.
Yeah.
Oof, even the bullet times were very, very scary. So, yeah. Hopefully we do get some of these highlights, though.
Yeah.
I just want to
I
want to watch more Poppy's destruction.
I like the theme of the All-Stars with the green and the purple, right? Kind of reminds me of just like a Happy Baron, but like very like cartoonish way. It's pretty cool. It's fun. I feel like it fits the All-Star event very well.
And the popcorn keyboard keycaps as well. I think it's all pretty cool.
I've definitely seen that happen in a couple of PC bongs when people get angry.
Yeah. I hope that's not the situation that we're in.
You know.
Yeah, not so good.
A couple times.
Not so good. We did see the player cams here for our LCK players, and I think Beryl was laughing that entire game. So
he was just having a blast.
yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be upset about the outcome of this particular match, and the LCK get some revenge against my old region as well, as the OPL will be taking the stage in our next 5v5. But let's have a look at some of the highlights from this match. It took us a little while, you know. We had to get through the Sunfire Aegis to grab these highlights, and that's it's a lot of extra health, and we were taking too much damage, maybe things burnt down, and here we are. Here's our Spotify Underdog upset. As our highlight was FLICKR eating his finger.
Yeah. Everybody just calm, cool, collected before the match. Getting ready into it. This is the highlight you were talking about.
Hell
which,
yeah.
Doesn't highlight the PCS, but it certainly highlights this insane bottom lane of Deft and Beryl. Nice play by FLICKR here. Looking for the back line, knows he has the follow-up from the Galio, and isolates. It's almost like he's playing chess, you know? He waits for that knight to move out of position, and then he just pounces. That's exactly what he did. The Poppy here, I would give probably the MVP.
Oh, 100%.
I think Kongye just kind of carried this game by himself. Even after his bot lane went 0-2, he did not care. And he didn't die that many times either.
Nope. Going 4-0 in the early game as a tank jungler is definitely... Right? Oh, yeah, sorry, 5-0. Definitely extraordinarily impressive.
This
back-to-back
really
Barons as well.
This is the one I really liked with Kaiwing was already over the wall. Poppy charges over the wall, and then comes the Malphite. And, of course, the Akali to follow up. Good positioning from Unified.
Yep.
And they're just playing, you know, it's 5 different players from a couple of different teams. But they still have some good synergy over there on the side of the PCS.
Oh, fantastic synergy. I think a lot of these players have had a lot of experience playing together in the past as well. Do need to say that Unified and Uniboy's positioning and dive has been very, very effective off the back of these tanks that we were talking about all of the game long. I felt like the carries probably didn't get enough of a look in. And as you can see, they did a hell of a lot of damage. Canyon, of course, was the only one able to get through the amount of items that had armor on them on the side of the PCS, which is why his numbers are so inflated.
Yeah, he... you know, he was doing a lot of chip damage eventually with the build that he went for, the Demonic Embrace eventually, for all those tanks that were stacking health as well as everything else. And, you know, multiple times be in the right place at the right time, able to chip him down. But huge amount of damage as well done by the Misfortune and the Akali. As I said, those carries did get fed by the end, but take a look as well at the damage of the 2 tanks up on the top side, both doing more than the Kalista, the Yasuo, and having a blast, immolating everything on the Rift.
Yeah. I did like my first competitive Sunfire Aegis experience. I actually thought it was very, very fun. Maybe we won't get another one of those in the next match. Maybe the OPL will spare us.
Too many things to ban.
League of Tanks. Oh God.
I don't know. Maybe they'll just play some weird stuff too. Just, you know, some fun wonky picks.
Yeah, we do have some fun players on the OPL roster. So looking forward to seeing what, you know, maybe my old mate Tally. I remember back in the day. A lot of these players. It's just going to be a bit of a nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
In our next best of 5, and it's going to be very, very interesting to watch. Babip as well. I wonder whether he's going to be mainly about proving himself as he is moving to North America for next year.
For some of the players, it's like, well, I want to show what I've got. You know, I was... most of the players are just like, okay, I'm an all-star, right? Everybody knows what I've got. But especially, as you mentioned, from some of the underdog regions, and especially from the OPL, moving away from the OPL next season, they'll be looking to show off their stuff. So I'm actually really, you're like kind of hyping me up for these individual players and like seeing what they can do, because I think they'll come out here actually trying to show their absolute best.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Raze having too much fun. I think it's going to be all business from him. He definitely is. You know, he's the perfect player for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I think it's all going to be about business and doing his very best to take down Deft if he can. So looking forward to that bottom lane. There will be shenanigans because Beryl's there. And that's what he does, guys. He's not going to stop throughout this entire tournament, and we all hope that he doesn't, because he's very, very fun to watch.
And I think we have an interview coming up here in just a moment.
Yeah, hoping so.
Would be remote, of course, because all the players are playing remotely at the moment. There is a very bare bones group of staff here running the show.
Yeah, not quite able to have too many people. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, though, guys. That's why we're just chilling, talking about whatever we feel like, because these interviews are difficult to really coordinate and get things sorted out immediately. So you just have to bear with us for a couple of moments.
Yeah. Do you feel like this tie makes me look fat?
Do you feel like this gigantic sack that I'm wearing makes me look fat?
Yes, we already went over that. But I'm just saying, like, you know, ties usually with the vest are supposed to be inside, right? But if you take it outside, it actually just looks really weird. But
of course it looks weird.
When you put it inside, it's kind of just like a lump, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I got like some extra baggage here that's not really supposed to be there.
And is your shirt bunched up as well? My shirt's a bit bunched up at the same time, so it's all just like,
Kind of just looks like we had a little bit too much fun over the holiday, just sitting at home, not going outside and only playing video games.
Wait a second.
Lots of fun.
Hang on, that is exactly what happened.
That is exactly what happened, but, you know, not quite this amount of happening.
Yeah, I
swear it's the tie.
It's somewhat accentuated.
Yeah.
However, I think, you know, still relatively correct. So I think it's absolutely fine. But let's throw it over to the interview with Jisun.
So how do you feel after playing this first match versus PCS? Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun, joined by FLICKR after the very first match of the Underdog Uprising. So how do you feel after playing this first match versus PCS? 네, 페이커 선수 오늘 첫 경기 PCS와의 치르셨는데 언더독이 정말 진짜 반란을 일으켰습니다. 첫 대결 해보시니 어떠셨나요?
안 들리세요? 마이크? 네. 안 들리세요? 마이크?
네, 지금 들어옵니다.
네.
지금 들어오고 있어요.
네, 솔직히 좀
네, 첫 번째 질문 다시 드릴게요. 언더독의 반란 PCS와의 첫 대결을 치르셨는데 언더독들이
생각했던 것보다는
진짜 반란을 일으키는데 성공했는데 첫 대결 소감이 어떻게 되나요?
선수들이 되게 솔직히 좀 이기고 싶었는데 상대방이 너무 되게 좀 다 같이 근데 좀 분위기가 좋았던 것 같아요. 지고 있는데.
Hi. Yeah, things not necessarily working out so well with where the audio is happening. I don't know what was happening there, but we apologize. The interview with FLICKR, a few audio delay issues, I guess, but you were about as confused as we are.
It happens.
It does.
The remote broadcast. That's the way it goes.
Indeed, but we are going to go to a short break. When we get back, LCK versus OPL. Don't go anywhere.